Hi, Mary. Okay, so we're gonna take you back to the hospital. Okay.
What are we doing from there?
You're probably gonna meet with Morgan and be able to see Cohen. And after that, we'll figure it out.
Can I ask you a really stupid question?
Yeah.
I know this is probably like not appropriate, because I know you're like technically in uniform.
Okay.
But I really need a hug right now.
Oh.
Welcome all you couch detectives out there. Join us every week for new cases, and if you're a fan of true crime, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. The absolute best way to support the channel is to subscribe, and if you appreciate what we're doing here, hit that like button, let us know that we're moving in the right direction. Okay, enough rambling, let's get into it. October 11, 2021, LaPorte, Indiana. Police respond to a 911 call from a 27-year-old Mary Yoder, who says her 4-year-old son Judah Morgan is unresponsive. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The boy's injuries were so horrid that one doctor called the blunt force trauma inflicted upon him the worst he'd seen in his entire 28-year career. Upon inspection of the Yoder home, it was found that the house was littered with garbage, rotting food, and animal feces. They also kept a lock on the refrigerator so that nobody could open it. The place was a pigsty. Rewind 4 years, and Judah Morgan was actually removed from the Yoder home when he was just 4 months old and put in foster care due to abuse. The family he was with was actually his father's cousin, Jenna Hullett. Judah spent the majority of his short life with Jenna. When he was placed back with his biological parents, Jenna warned police that Mary Yoder and Alan Morgan were abusive to the young boy, and she fought up until his last day alive to gain custody. Reports say that Judah was kept in their cold basement, mostly unclothed, with just one fuzzy blue blanket as a bed and his only source of warmth. This was punishment for him not being potty trained, which was not the case when he was in foster care, so likely this was a byproduct of the newly introduced abuse into his life. Mary Yoder was interrogated for over 6 hours in total, so for your convenience we have broken it up into 3 parts. This is part 2. The other 2 parts are linked below, and the full interrogation is also linked below for those that want to watch it all at once in its entirety. But first, let us have a moment of silence for the victim in this case.
We'll figure it
Can I ask you a really stupid question?
Yeah.
I know this is probably like not appropriate, because I know you're like technically in uniform.
Okay.
But I really need a hug right now.
Oh. Okay.
Are you not allowed to?
Well,
I don't have anybody, and I've been sitting in here, and it's like
No.
I haven't seen my kids and my families, and
yeah. How about this? How about we get you to see Morgan, because I know she's the closest one to you, okay?
Okay.
And it's not that I don't want to give you a hug, but I gotta keep it professional while I'm on duty, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You can ask those questions, but let's get you to Morgan. And
I have so many family I need to apologize to, because everybody told me that I was wrong about him, and I need to stop seeing good at him, because there's not.
Mary, let's take this all one step at a time from here, okay? So we know that we need to meet with them over at the hospital, right?
Yeah.
I'm Adam, by the way.
yeah,
I'm
he's
Adam.
gonna go with us.
Hi.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna try to slow things down a little bit as much as we can, okay? And we're gonna get you over to the hospital and take care of some of those things that we know we need to take care of, okay? And then we'll go from there,
Yeah.
okay? And if you
We're
got
gonna help
questions
you out.
about anything, we're going to be with you here for the next little bit, and we'll try to help explain things as best we can.
We know you've been through a lot, so we want to hang out with you for a little bit and just kind of stay with you, because I know you don't have family. And I know you don't have a
My
lot.
dad's supposed to be coming home, but I don't know when he'll be home. And I have
Where's he
like
coming from?
Nashville.
They're down in Nashville.
He won like a trip from work or something, and they didn't know if they could get a flight, but they're working on it.
Yeah, and I know you were saying earlier you didn't have anywhere to go, so I want to stay with you, and you didn't want to go to a shelter, so we're going to stay.
Well, I have about 18 people
Yeah, I'm sure.
that are like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm probably not going to respond to 90% of you because any other time that I was going through something,
They're just
you guys weren't there.
Yeah.
Let's go take care of the stuff we know we need to take care of over at the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll go from there. Okay,
Yeah.
is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Take some paper towel with you and put it in your pocket because I know.
I'm really gross and I've been snotting all over my job.
Listen,
How the hell am I supposed to tell my son that his little brother's dead?
Again, let's
not cross that bridge.
Let's slow things down.
We gotta slow things down.
Let's worry about what we need to next, which is
I'm sorry, like my depression's really like
I know.
fucking up right now.
I know. And that's why we want to slow things down because you also just went through you're in postpartum right now too.
Yeah, this is not.
You can leave all the trash right here. We will clean it up.
It's my trash.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't like leaving my garbage.
Well,
okay. So we're gonna be back in with you in a second here, and just make sure that everybody's on the same page with everything. So we'll go over some of that stuff and then talk about where we're gonna go from here, what we can help you out with. Okay.
make a checklist.
Yeah. Work on a checklist with some stuff. So we'll be right back in with you. Okay.
Do you actually mean right back in, or is it going to be like?
No, I'm just gonna use the restroom and grab me some water and then I'll be back in.
I want to check in with these other guys that are here.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Okay.
Yeah.
all these rooms are making me really like.
No. What if I leave that door cracked open just a little bit? Is that okay?
Well,
Yeah,
give you some air and stuff. Yeah, we're trying our best
It's
to
also
get off
super
of-
cold in here.
I know.
I thought the same thing this morning.
Yeah.
So, just give us a second. Okay.
If you need water or food, you just let us know, okay?
Okay. Hello? Hi, Grandma. I take it my mom didn't tell you, did she? I take it my mom didn't tell you, did she? I take it my mom didn't tell you, did she? Judah's gone. Judah's gone, Grandma. I said, Judah is gone, Grandma. Judah. Grandma. Grandma. I don't. He. I really don't know how. He's gone, Grandma. I really don't even wanna explain, but you have it's only fair if you know. Well, everyone was right, and everyone was right, okay? Everybody's been sitting here telling me I told you so. Alan is in prison, or will be. Alan. Because he accidentally took things way too far, and he hurt him, and Grandma, I don't want to have to say it again. He's in prison, Grandma. And that's where he belongs. I hate myself. Like, I don't... They just got him. No. No. Grandma, it's so much worse than that. Like, I really don't even, like, want to have to get into detail, to be very honest. I'm surprised my mom didn't tell you. No, well, they're not about to be, because they're going to be on their way home tomorrow. He's gone, Grandma. Grandma, he's gone, okay? He's gone. I don't know. I don't want to have to say it any other way, okay? Like, I don't know what else to tell you, and I really don't want to, like, say it any other way, okay? Like, I really don't. Grandma, I don't want to have to say it again. I mean, that's what it is. So, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing anyone can do, Grandma. There is literally nothing that anyone can do. It is too late. And I'm sorry I had to tell you. I thought my mom would have told you because Uncle John knows. So I don't know how you don't know or didn't know. Very early this morning, while I was in the hospital. Yeah, I have been lying to you, Grandma. Yeah. Because I told everyone that I wasn't pregnant, I was. Yes. Well, he has a cleft lip. The cleft lip, where it's like kind of like their lip is split. Probably. No, I'm sitting in the sheriff's office. Yes. Grandma, I thought we already went over this. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, I really don't want to have to repeat myself, okay? Like, I really don't. Like, I don't want to have to say it again, okay? It's okay. No, there is nothing you can do, Grandma, okay? I have to go, though, okay? I have an officer that's trying to speak to me so we can figure things out, okay? I love you, Grandma. Bye. I really hope she doesn't have, like, a freaking heart attack.
Okay. You doing okay with your Sprite? Do you need any more water? Do you need any water or anything like that? And you didn't want anything to eat, right? Okay.
She said that if I get hungry, she'll give me something.
Yeah, perfect.
She said that she said what she's going to do is, she said if I want her to get me my own room, she'll pay for it. But I was like, I can't.
Oh, grandma? Okay.
No, Christy.
Oh, Christy.
But my grandma would too, but being alone right now is not.
Yeah, probably not a good thing.
No.
Mary, this is what I want to do. I would like to have an opportunity to go over some of the things that you had discussed earlier, because I wasn't in on some of that, okay? And just to make sure that I'm on the same page and that I have a clear understanding of everything that happened,
Yes,
okay? What I'd also like to do, just so we don't have any distractions, I'm going to take this phone, I'm going to set it right on the ledge of my office door. You see that little ledge right there? I'm going to set it right there, okay? Just so we can focus a little bit and have a good conversation here. Okay, does that sound okay? All right. Let's set it right here. You go watch me. Okay. I think Christina's going to join us again.
So good on Sprite water?
Okay. Mary, so there's just a lot of questions about everything, and I don't have a clear picture of everything that's happened. And obviously you have a lot of questions too, because you're at the hospital with stuff that happened at the house, okay? But in these types of situations, I think it's good for me to try to cover our bases, and because it is a criminal investigation, I want to make sure that you're aware of what your rights are, okay? I'm not here pointing fingers at anybody. I'm here just to try to figure out if we can put some pieces of the puzzle back together and get a good understanding of maybe some background in this situation and how all this came to a head, okay? And I think you can help a lot with putting all that together. But I do need to go over your constitutional rights with you, just to be on the safe side, and that it's something we need to do with you. Okay, so the way I normally do that. Okay. Let me send that guy there. So, and Mary, again, I apologize, but there's been a lot of moving parts with this whole situation. And as I had told you before, I can only imagine what's kind of going through your head and some of the things that you're trying to process right now. And we're trying to be as conscious and here for you that we can be, okay? But I would like to kind of go over probably some stuff you already talked about this morning, and I apologize for doing that. But it's important that I have a good understanding of kind of what took place and what your knowledge is, and some background with you and Alan.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you could explain to me the children that are living in the house with you guys, leading up to Saturday, which was the 9th. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Leading up to Saturday the 9th. We're all living in the house with you?
Yes, sir.
And it's my understanding that there's a time period that they weren't living with you.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that.
Basically, my mom wanted custody of me, and she called DCS on me because she told them I was smoking weed and that Alan had hit me, which was not the case, because that was me playing way too rough with him. And I told DCS that, and nobody believed me because everybody said it was Alan. And I tried to explain to them that it was because I was being too rough with him, and they didn't listen. And they told me to quit covering for him. And I tried to explain, like, that's not what was happening. Well,
To have some sort of bruise?
he had a mark on his face.
A mark on his face.
Because I was sitting here, like, kind of, like, come on, get mad, like, playing with him. And
Kind of play slap?
I was being, obviously, way too rough with him.
Can you give me just a time frame, approximate month, where all that first started?
He was removed from me May 7th of 2017.
2017.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Judah was born in June of the same year.
Okay. So, where did it go?
With my mom, like she wanted.
Okay. So then, shortly after, went to go stay with your mom. Judah was born.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did Judah come home with you?
I was given permission to live with my friend's mom, and she was like placement for him, but I was allowed by DCS to live there. So I lived there with him and her for like 3 months, and then she got upset because I wouldn't sell her my food stamps anymore. So
what address was that, and who were you staying with?
It was
Okay.
the apartment complex. Yes, sir.
Okay. And who were you staying with there?
Judah and my friend's mom and her kids.
Yeah. What's her name? Okay. So for a few months there, you were staying with Judah.
Yes, sir.
Who was with your mom?
Yes, sir.
And what about Al?
He was kind of just.
Because Judah, Alan is Judah's father.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The only one that he's not the father of is.
Okay. Where was Alan at with those first few months when you were living?
So I believe like the first month, like he didn't really have anywhere to go, and then we had got. Excuse me. We had got an apartment, or he had got an apartment because he was working for RL Roofing, and his boss had basically like offered to rent us out a place. So we got the place on 11th Street.
In Michigan City?
Yes, sir. And
do you remember when you moved to 11th Street?
not off the top of my head, no.
So it was June when Judah was born.
Yes.
You lived for a few months.
Yes.
And then moved to 11th Street with Alan.
Yeah.
So it was you, Alan, and Judah.
No. So she was still placement of him.
Okay.
But because I pissed her off, she called DCS and said she wanted him moved. And at which point he went to a foster home for like a month or two, and then he went to Gina, which was the cousin that he was with up until.
Okay. Whose cousin is that?
Alan's.
It's Alan's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
You said her name's Gina?
Mm-hmm.
Gina, who's her husband?
His name is Phil.
Phil. Where do they live at?
In like North Judson or San Pierre or something. I don't know. From what I understand, they may have been evicted, but I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I don't know for sure because I haven't talked to them in months.
Okay. All right. So, at what point did you guys? Okay. So you had a couple other children after Judah.
Yes.
Were you guys living on 11th Street when those children were born? Okay, tell me about that.
So when I was born, we were living on A Street in LaPorte.
Alan was there with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And came home, and we were on like home visits, like they were partially supervised visits. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
Like barely functional right now. So we lived on A Street, and the older two and Judah were on like home visits, like not like home trial, but like home visits.
Okay. Supervised or no?
It started off as like partially supervised, and then it was unsupervised.
Okay.
And then we were going to start a home trial, but then we lost the apartment. So.
On A Street?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did things go from there?
He was still with my mom, and Judah was still with Gina. And like I moved to my mom's house, and Alan kind of like, I think he like stayed with his mom a little bit, and then I don't really know like what he did. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I don't know really what he did other than that, because my parents don't like him, and
So he never moved in with your mom?
no. My parents always hated him.
Okay. So you moved in with your mom for a short time period? Was that a long time period? How'd that go?
It was until about like, let's see, maybe May, and then we got the house. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. We got the house out there.
On 875?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When was that?
Like last summer.
Okay. Summer of 2020?
Yes, sir. And I was born like a couple months after we moved in there.
And stayed with you guys there at the house on 875?
Yes, sir. And did as well.
Came and was he?
Well, never was removed from us, and then, well, I kind of cussed out somebody at DCS, and they didn't like that, and I was standing there, and so they removed the kids because they said that I was like freaking out at, and it wasn't at, it was at her.
You're frustrated with DCS?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of like cussed the lady out, and she was like, "Yeah, that's not cool." So.
And at what point did, because all the children were living on 875, when did that merger, when did you guys all reunite at that residence?
This home trial ended around Christmas of last year. Ouch. And Judah's ended, I believe, in like May or the beginning of June, like the end of May. Beginning of June or something like that.
Once you guys were all back in the house, so it was Judah, you, and Al.
Yes.
You were all at the house there together.
Yes, sir.
How was the atmosphere there?
For a while, it was really good. You know, like, I mean, me and Alan have always had kind of like a on and off relationship, but.
How long have you guys been together total?
6 years.
Okay.
Since September 15th of 2016.
You guys went on and off.
I mean,
from
we've been
2016 to current date.
Well, the longest we were actually like apart, like we weren't together, was like a month.
Okay.
I mean, we like fought all the time.
What'd you guys fight about?
Stupid shit. Whether it was a guy that tried to like my picture on Facebook, or someone tried to message me, even if I didn't know who it was. It could have been anything. Like, I could have just said something that was like what he considered stupid, and it would have been a problem.
What, he asked to see your Facebook account? Did he have access to your Facebook account?
I didn't like leave my phone locked or anything.
Okay.
Like, he could access my phone, but I didn't care.
You let him. You didn't have a problem with him?
No.
Would he often try to do that?
I couldn't really say, because I don't know what he did while I was like asleep. He could have went through my phone while I was asleep. But I'm sorry. I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure he did.
Okay. And just so I don't miss something, when did Judah, when did he join you guys in the house?
Like at the end of May or beginning of June or something like that of this year. Or not this year. Wait. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. May? You think May 2021?
May or June.
We can verify all that stuff through DCS on that. I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page. Okay. So you and Alan would fight. You guys been on and off. You guys would fight about stupid stuff, Facebook, whatever. How would things be with the kids, with and Judah?
There was no like issues up until like the last time that Gina and Phil came to the house.
And Gina and Phil had custody of Judah.
Judah, yes.
For a few years.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of his life, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess I got frustrated because he had gotten in their car and took in their keys out of the ignition and took off, and he thought it was funny. And they didn't say anything to him about it. And I thought that was like not appropriate, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like went and grabbed the keys and gave it back. I didn't say anything to them, which in hindsight, maybe I should have been like, listen, I don't think this is appropriate. But I didn't say anything. I kind of just handed them back their keys. But then they like asked to come see him and the rest of the boys, and I kind of just ignored them because I was frustrated, because I felt like, you know, I felt like they didn't like respect like
your rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because they carried him around everywhere, and he was almost 4, so I was like, you don't want to carry him around everywhere because he's almost 4. Like he's got to be somewhat independent, you know.
So you had the issue with the keys, and then from that point, you essentially cut Gina and Phil off, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then once that happened, I don't know if it was because of that, but I'm assuming it was. He started to kind of like act up, like he would start peeing his pants and pooping himself, and just
how long has that been going on? Excuse me.
Like a couple months.
Okay. But
it didn't become like.
When was that? I didn't mean to cut you off. When was that last visit with Gina and Phil?
Like end of May, beginning of June, because they were the ones that like brought him over to the house when everything closed out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was about the same time.
So Judah started having some, you said, issues with peeing and defecating in his pants. Is that
yes.
Right? Tell me more about that.
I mean, it was. I don't really know if that's why, but it was just like whenever he didn't get what he wanted, he would pee or poop his pants. And, for a while it was like, okay, kids regress and like whatever. And then it started to get like frustrating. And Alan really, really, really didn't like it because we didn't have the money to get more pull-ups. And, I can't say that I wasn't frustrated with it either, but I didn't handle it the way that he did.
Okay, give me some examples how Alan would handle a situation where Judah had urinated or defecated in his pants.
So, like, for a long time, we just put him in pull-ups. And he kept...
Just at night or throughout the whole day?
Just throughout the whole day.
Okay.
Because he kept doing it over and over and over again. So, we were like, okay, well, let's not ruin clothes. Let's just put him in pull-ups. And then he just kept doing it. And then we didn't have the money for all these pull-ups because there's in pull-ups too. Mm-hmm. So we started just like putting like shorts on him. And then Alan was like, we're not doing shorts because he's still not going to the bathroom right. So then we would just put like a t-shirt on him or something. And then it got to the last couple of weeks where
last couple of weeks up to the point where you were at the hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
Where Alan I don't know what's been going on. It's like ever since he got arrested with the car, he's been like weird. Like, because he got arrested because he was driving my car, without a license, and he had weed on him, and like he blew my motor, and like it was just a whole big deal.
So that added to the stress of everything.
Yes.
Okay.
And I really don't know if I could say if that was, because it didn't seem like it really affected him. It seemed like it was more, because I was pissed about it. Like, I was like, that's childish and you shouldn't have done that.
Sure.
And he thought it was funny. It was like fastest boy, like, it wasn't a joke.
So he's been, you said, not acting the same the last couple of weeks. How did he handle the situation with Judah?
He started bringing him downstairs and having him, like, kind of like do like an exercise, I guess. So he would have him like kind of do like an A, like he would kind of have him like not do a push-up, but like put his feet on the ground and then put his hands on the ground and kind of like stick his butt up in the air, thinking that maybe like doing like a workout would change something.
Okay, so I've not been to your house. Is this like a single-story house?
It's a like main floor and then there's a basement.
A basement. So you say downstairs, you're talking about in the basement of the residence.
Yeah.
And explain the basement to me again. I apologize. I've not been to the house.
It's some old stairs that go down into like a really big basement that just has a bunch of crap in it.
Okay, so
Like, it's
mainly for storage. It's not really a living area.
No, that's the landlord's stuff. Like, that's all of his stuff.
Is there electricity down there?
Yes. But he kept the lights off most of the time because he was, I think, trying to like kind of scare him into behaving, I guess.
Okay, so there were lights down there, but Alan wouldn't turn them on when he took Judah down there.
Yes.
Okay. So that started in the last couple of weeks. He would take him down there and make him do this pyramid exercise.
Yes.
And what else?
And then he just continued to not do what Alan wanted and go to the bathroom, and there was multiple times where I would go downstairs because I would be upstairs with the other kids and I would hear a noise and I would open the door and he would be down there yelling at him, and I'd go down there and I would try and get him to stop.
What was he doing?
Punching him. He kicked him a few times. He taped his hands up to put him like up against the pole and tied his hands up.
What did he tie him up with?
Duct tape. And if he didn't answer him, he would punch him.
Did you see him do this?
And I tried to tell him to stop, and he kind of just told me to shut the fuck up and go away. You're not helping, just go away. And he wouldn't stop.
Well, how long would they stay in the basement?
Like, I'd say between 2 to 5 minutes. I mean, it kind of differed. Sometimes he would just go down there, see if he was going to answer him, and then if he didn't answer him, he would come back upstairs and leave him down there for a couple hours and then bring him back upstairs and see if he was going to go to the bathroom. And if he didn't go to the bathroom, then he would bring him back downstairs, or if he was ignoring him, he'd bring him back downstairs. There was times that he would carry him down to the basement by his neck.
Was Judah verbal? Was he screaming? Was he
tried.
begging?
He yelled.
What would he yell?
He just screamed. And I tried to explain, like, that it was not okay. And he just
To Alan or
didn't.
to Judah?
To Alan, it's like when he got in that mood, there was no...
In the last 2 weeks, how many times do you think Judah, to your knowledge, was taken downstairs to the basement?
I mean, there's a couple times he stayed down there for a few days. Like, he stayed down there for like 2 days.
Judah?
And then he would bring him up because Judah would start, going to the bathroom. And then he would stop again because the other kids got something that he didn't like, that he didn't. And then he would bring him back downstairs.
When Judah was left in the basement for for a couple days, would you guys bring him up to eat or take food down to him? Or how did that work?
It kind of depended on Alan's mood, I guess.
And if you guys didn't feed him, I mean, tell me that. You know,
Like, there was a
I want
couple
you to be 100%
times.
honest with me.
There was a couple times that Alan said, okay, well, if you don't want to answer me, you're not going to eat. And I was like, you got to give him something. Like, you can't just starve him.
So there are incidents where Judah was withheld food.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I would sneak him food when
What would you sneak down there?
I would try and give him like a banana or some fruit or something, like something so that he could eat something or drink something.
And Alan would let you take that down to him, or you would do it without him knowing, or how would that work?
Do it without him knowing, because if he knew, he would tell me that I'm coddling him or I'm spoiling him, or this is why he does what he does.
And when you would go down to give him this food,
I would try and talk to him.
to Judah, what would you say to him?
I would say stuff like, listen, I understand that you have a hard time going to the bathroom, but I really need you to try, because I don't want your dad to get mad, and I don't want him to get mad at you, and I don't want him to get mad at me, and I know you don't like this, and I don't like this, and I'm trying to help you, but I really need you to, like, please stop ignoring him, because there's only, like, I can't do anything when he gets mad, and
What would Judah say to you?
he said he would tell me that he would go, and sometimes he would, but then as soon as he saw Alan or heard him, he would completely shut down and stop talking.
He'd freeze up.
And Alan got pissed off at him, and
Why do you think he would do that? Why do you think Judah would do
because
that?
he was scared of him.
He was scared of him, right? He was scared of him. Now, obviously, the potty training issue would become frustrating as a parent. Tell me about when you get frustrated with Judah in those situations.
I've said mean things. I've called him stupid.
Call him stupid. Was that why he was in the basement?
There was one time because he wouldn't answer Alan, and I got pissed because I just wanted him to answer so Alan would stop. And I was like, God, you're being fucking stupid.
Where did this take place at? Where at the house?
I had opened the door, and
The basement door?
yes,
Would that door be locked?
no.
Okay. So you opened the basement door and you just yelled down at Judah?
I would be like, listen, are you going to talk, or, because your dad's going to, he's going to be pissed if you're not going to talk. Are you going to go to the bathroom? And he would say, if he would say no.
So you were frustrated with Judah, and you were frustrated with Alan too, right?
I don't think it was really frustrated with Alan. I think it was more, scared of what he could do to either of us.
But to the point where you would call Judah stupid for not talking because you didn't want Alan to blow up.
Yeah.
So you're stupid, right? Tell me about the times you because of your frustration, you took Judah down in the basement.
I personally never took him down there. That was always Alan.
So you never took Judah down, but you would go down and check on him, talk to him, maybe sneak him some food. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. Because I didn't like it. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was horrible.
Did you think about reaching out to anybody?
I did. And I was scared. DCS.
Okay.
Family.
Okay.
The police.
Okay. What are you scared of?
Alan. Losing my kids. Because I didn't say anything, and I was scared. And I knew that if I said something and Alan went to jail and he got bonded out, that it would either go, I would get kicked out and I would just get screamed at, or I would get my ass torn apart.
By Alan. He put his hands on you before?
Yes.
Okay.
while I was pregnant, while I wasn't pregnant.
Numerous times.
Yeah,
Would he hit you with a closed fist?
he had, yes.
Much like you had seen him do with Judah?
Yes, sir.
You saw him strike him and kick him?
Yes, sir.
Was that why his hands were bound up?
No, that was because he went upstairs and got in the fridge and got a Go-Gurt.
Okay. I had asked you a few minutes ago, and I think we got sidetracked a little bit. I want you to try to estimate. I'm not going to hold you to a number, okay? I want you to try to estimate how many times Judah was taken down to the basement as punishment.
Like in total?
Total. Now, it's my understanding this has been going about 2 weeks. Is it maybe a little bit longer than that?
I mean, it started, he didn't keep him, like, it started just as like a 5-minute thing.
Okay.
And it was like a little bit before that. Like, it wasn't like, it was, I think it really was just like originally just to like kind of scare him, because, you know, kids are like scared of the dark and monsters. And I think he thought that if it was dark down there and he was scared, that maybe he would stop doing it.
Okay.
And he didn't.
Okay. So even those 5-minute increments, just those first few that started several weeks ago, right? I want you to just try to estimate. I guess let's break it down. How many times would it happen per week?
2 or 3.
2 or 3 times per week. And we're talking.
I mean, that's, sometimes he like did really good. Like, there was times where, you know, he went like some days without, you know, peeing and pooping.
Okay.
And he just like, he was doing really good. And, you know, during those times, Alan was like super, you know, see, I knew you could do it. Like, you got this. You just have to like focus, and, you know, you wouldn't get in trouble if you would just do what you're supposed to do, type thing.
Okay.
And then, like, as soon as he had an accident, Alan completely just snapped.
He would snap. And that's when, what would happen?
Either he would tell him to go downstairs, or if he was ignoring him, he would carry him downstairs by his neck.
Mm-hmm. And you're upstairs on the main level when this took part, right?
Yes, sir.
And you could hear, I would assume, Alan yelling.
Yes, sir.
Could you hear Judah?
Sometimes he like didn't yell.
Okay.
Sometimes he did.
And you heard strikes, punches?
I mean, I heard kind of like, I mean, I was upstairs.
Yeah.
And when I would hear like the bang, you know, I would try and be like, I would try and open the door and be like, you need to stop, dude. Like, you need to fucking quit. Mind your business and go upstairs and take care of the other kids. No, dude, you need to fucking stop. And it was the same thing over and over and over again. It was, I'm coddling him, I'm babying him. This is why he does what he does.
Would Alan ever ask you to help with discipline down in the basement?
No.
So when Judah was bound, taped up, you said with duct tape, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
With the duct tape. Where did the materials, where did the tape come from when that would occur?
He had got it from upstairs. Like, I mean, the house was kind of a mess, so
Okay.
like sometimes it would be in our room because he was trying to tape up the air conditioning unit,
Okay.
or it would be in the kitchen. It kind of.
So did that become a common practice that
He did it like 3 days in a row,
3 days in a row?
and it really pissed me off because
It really pissed you off.
he wouldn't stop doing it, and I knew that I should have done something, but I guess I kind of gave up on trying to fight Alan over it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there was the other kids and the babies, and I didn't want them crawling, you know, into the kitchen and hurting themselves, or, you know, like falling down the stairs because he had left the door open or something.
Your hands were full with the other kids, right?
But that doesn't make it okay.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Take me to how things were just prior to you going to LaPorte Hospital to give birth to. You went on Saturday. Again, the date was the 10th. The 9th. I'm sorry, Saturday the 9th.
Yes, sir.
You called somebody to take you to the hospital. Who'd you call?
Morgan.
Morgan. Okay. And Morgan drove to your house?
Yes.
Picked you up?
Yes.
How were things with all the kids, specifically with Alan and Judah,
I
when you left
believe
the house on the 9th?
the
Saturday.
day before his birthday. So, because I'm trying to think, I believe it was his birthday, so that was the 10th that he was sitting on the couch. I think.
Or
No, Judah.
Okay.
Is that when you saw him on the camera?
Yeah, he was wearing a yellow shirt, I believe. I think it was yellow. And some pants, and he was kind of just sitting on the couch watching TV, and the other kids were sitting there playing. And then,
So he was upstairs, everything, like he wasn't down in the basement when you went to the hospital.
when I went to the hospital, I think he was,
So
but
prior,
he had brought him back upstairs.
why did he bring him back upstairs?
I didn't ask him. He didn't like say, hey, I'm going to go get Judah and bring him upstairs.
Was it because he knew somebody else was coming over to the house?
No. Because me and Morgan had already left.
You guys already left.
Like, she didn't come in or anything. Like, she just pulled up and picked me
Okay.
up.
But when you left the house, Judah was not down in the basement.
I believe he was.
You believe he was in the basement?
I believe so,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Because I think,
But you saw him on camera later?
I don't know if it was that day or the day after, but I do remember seeing him on camera, like sitting on the couch.
Had you heard Alan yelling at Judah that day?
That day,
Saturday,
no, because it was kind of super stressful that day because I was in a lot of pain and I was very just like anxious. And we had planned for me to go to the hospital and hopefully get induced.
Okay.
So we were just, I was cleaning a lot.
Okay, so how long had he been down in the basement then prior to you going to the LaPorte Hospital?
Like, he had been, I believe, down there the night before because Alan would have him sleep down there sometimes.
What would he sleep on down there?
There was a thick Sherpa blanket that was folded up.
Okay, so a thick blanket, just thrown on was it concrete floor?
Yeah, I think.
Concrete floor.
Would you have clothes on, pajamas and stuff down there?
Well, when Alan felt like letting him wear pajamas, yeah.
Was it most of the time was he unclothed?
There was quite a few times that he was naked, yeah.
Okay, so you go to the hospital. You believe you saw him on camera upstairs after that.
Yes.
Morgan takes you to the hospital. You get induced.
No, okay, I was at the hospital when I saw him on the camera.
On the 9th, Saturday the 9th. What time did you go to the hospital?
At
Three something
in the afternoon.
Okay. All right.
I
don't want to get caught up on when you saw him on camera, but you're certain that you saw him on camera. Did you have any cameras in the basement?
No.
Okay.
There's a camera in the living room.
Okay.
There's a camera out. There's 2 cameras out, on the porch and on the driveway.
Okay.
And then there's one back in Micah and Dexter's room.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the purpose of having the camera in the kids' room? And was there one in the living room too, or no?
Yes, sir.
Those security cameras.
Well, there was a couple times where one time this guy had walked up into our house and had threatened us because his son tried to hit my dog on his dirt bike.
Okay.
So we didn't really
that would explain like the outdoor cameras. I
Yes.
completely understand that. I'm just curious, and if you don't know, you don't know. But the camera in the living room and the one in the bedroom, the kids' bedroom.
So the kids' bedroom is kind of like just to make sure they're asleep, because he likes to get up like super early in the morning, or he has a hard time falling asleep. So
That makes sense.
when he's taking a nap, we would use that to like make sure he's actually taking a nap.
Yeah.
And the living room was out in the living room because like the other rooms he would get super hot and there was no AC unit.
Okay.
So we would have his crib right in front of the unit, and we would play like his lullabies on the TV.
Sure. So that's why the camera's out there is for whose crib's out in that living
Yes.
room. Okay. All right. So let's go back. You're at the hospital. What is the first indication to you that something is going sideways at the house?
He said that,
You talking Alan?
yes, sorry. He just had said that he had like implied that he had went downstairs, and I was like, just leave him alone, like ignore him, leave him alone, just stop, just let him be.
Do you remember how long that was after you've been to the hospital?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, it was
Would you guys communicate through text messages, Facebook Messenger,
called him,
calls?
Yeah, most of the time I was calling him because it was a lot easier for me, like with everything all like hooked up and stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, like I did message him and whatnot.
Through what?
Facebook.
Through Facebook. Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're okay.
So he reached out to you. He indicated, was that a cell phone call or text message?
He had messaged me.
Through Facebook?
Yes.
And he had mentioned that we went downstairs.
I don't remember exactly what he had said, but he had said something, and I had told him, leave him alone, ignore him, just let him be. Just stop. Like, quit fucking with him. Because I was getting irritated, and, I was like, if he's being an idiot, then just leave him alone, because I was just kind of like tired of, like, I was in the hospital. I didn't want to hear anything. Like, I was being ignorant. And he said, so the next time I heard anything about it, he was calling me saying that he had went down there. He was like, well, you had told me to ignore him, so I brought him a sandwich, and I just went down there, and I don't know what's going on. And it seems like he's like not breathing, and I'm freaking out, and I don't know what to do. I was like, you need to call somebody, Alan. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's no, like, you need to call somebody. He's like, I'm going to go to prison. I was like, Alan, at this point, if he's hurt or if he is choking or whatever it may be, you need to call somebody. And he was like, no, and don't call anybody. I'm like, Alan, I need to get help. He's like, no, don't you fucking call anybody. And I mean, it's like, if I was there, he would have done something to me for saying, that I was going to call somebody. But I wouldn't have allowed that shit. Like, I wouldn't have, just ignored him. Like, I didn't mean, like basically tell him to shove off. Like, I wanted him to just not bother him. Like, I wanted him to just leave him alone. Like, that was my whole point. Like, just stop going down there. Just stop. Leave him alone. I didn't mean bring him a sandwich and then just disappear. I meant just don't touch him, don't talk to him, leave him alone. And I tried to like figure out what was going on because he wasn't like making a lot of sense, and all I could really hear were noises. And I asked him what was going on, and he said he was like 91 degrees.
How would he know that? Was he?
We have a thermometer that scans, like has a little light, and it scans.
Okay.
And I was like, Alan, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I don't know if he choked, like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, okay, well, I need to call somebody. He's like, no, like, I'm gonna figure this out, like, I got this. I'm like, no, you don't, because you wouldn't have called me if you didn't know what was going on. He was like, I've been trying to do CPR on him for an hour. And I was like, Alan, what the fuck? Like, this is not okay. Like, this is bad. Like, I need to go get somebody. So I kind of lied to him and said that the nurse was coming in. And I called Jesse, which is his brother.
Okay.
And I said, Jesse, there's a fucking problem. Because he's calling me saying that Judah's like getting cold and he doesn't know what's going on, but he hears his heart rate, but it's like quiet or whatever. And Jesse was like, you need to fucking call somebody.
Where's Jesse live?
Like, I thought it was Michigan City, but I guess it's like listed as LaPorte.
Okay. So you called Jesse.
And he was like, I know that's my brother, but you need to call somebody. So then I hung up on him, and then I called Alan back because I wanted to know if he was okay. Like, I was like, what's going on? Like, tell me he's okay. Like, tell me that there's nothing wrong. And he was like, I can't. Like, I don't know what to do.
Where are you at when these phone calls were taking place?
Like, in my hospital room.
In your room. Okay. Is there anybody else in there with you?
No.
Okay.
And so he had said that he didn't know what was going on. So again, I hung up on him and called Jesse again. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go call somebody. So I went over to Morgan's room. I went over to the nurse's desk and I said, I need to be discharged now. Like, I need to go get my kid. I don't know what's going on, but there's an emergency and I need to leave now. She was like, okay, is there something I can like help you with? I was like, no, I don't know, but I need to go get my kids. I need to go make sure my kids are okay. And then I went to...
Remember which nurse that was?
Jana.
Okay.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Okay.
But so I went to Morgan's room and said there's a fucking problem. And I told her what was going on, and I was honest with her that I was scared that Judah was seriously hurt. And she was like, we need to call somebody. So she called, and then I called at basically the same time. And
when she called 911, you're on the phone with Al.
No, with Jesse. And then I am told...
You were on the phone with Jesse, okay.
Like, when I walked in her room, I believe I was on the phone with Jesse. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go because I'm going to call. He's like, you need to. Like, call them now.
You called Alan after?
No, I called the ambulance.
Call 911.
Yes.
So you went into Morgan's room.
And I was in Morgan's room when I...
You were on the phone with somebody, not 911.
No, I was I had called 911 while I was in there.
But not initially, because when Morgan's on the phone with 911, you're talking with somebody else.
With Jesse.
With Jesse.
And then I hung up on Jesse and called.
911.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I tried to explain what was going on. And they said they were sending officers out.
And then is that when you called Alan and told him that you were sorry?
I said, I'm sorry, but I can't choose you over my kids. And he said, fuck you, you stupid bitch, I'm leaving. And then evidently, somehow Jesse got word that apparently he was hiding in the woods trying to kill me, I guess. So they wouldn't let me leave the hospital. And Morgan said she wouldn't take me over there to get the kids because I wasn't safe. And I said, I don't give a shit if I'm not safe. I want to go get my kids. And she was like, I'm sorry, Mary, but I'm not taking you. I was like, okay, but I need to go get my kids. And nobody was going to let me leave. And I tried to get somebody to just take me, but nobody would take me.
Okay.
And then we went in the room and the officers showed up. And
okay. We'll go back a little bit. Obviously, we've asked a lot of questions and we've talked a lot about Judah.
Yes, sir.
How was Alan with the other kids?
Like, awesome. And it used to be like that with Judah, too. It really, like, all of them, you know, they all...
The potty training issues started not soon after he showed up. He started living with you guys on 875, right?
Yeah, I mean, he did good for, like, the first, like, couple months, but then it kind of just stopped. And then he just, like, he would go, like, he would use the bathroom like he was supposed to. And then Alan was like, oh, yeah, you're doing good. And then he would stop as soon as...
Did the other kids need any type of discipline action in the last 6 months?
I mean, in the last 6 months, yeah.
Sure, tell me about some of those. What was it? I mean,
Just,
mainly, or was it?
I mean, not at all.
Okay.
But, I mean, like, so, like, if he woke up and he kept getting up and kept getting up, you know, I would spank his butt a little bit, you know, but, like, it was open hand on his diaper and just kind of, like, lifted up his leg and tapped his butt. And, like, kind of, well, with Alan used a belt, but it wasn't, like...
What to do?
He used to do this thing where he would throw up when, like, my mom would get brought up, because it was kind of like a trigger for him. But Alan hasn't done that in a really long time. So he hasn't, like, been in trouble.
Okay, well, tell me about when Alan used the belt.
I mean, it's been quite some time, but, you know, he would just take the belt and spank him 3 times, and, I mean...
Because I threw up?
Well, he would try and make himself gag, and that really pissed Alan off. I mean, there was times where I, like, raised my voice at him about it, too, because I didn't want him to do what he was doing, and I wanted Alan to not do anything, and I figured that if I, like, said, okay, you need to stop fucking doing that shit, that maybe Alan would take me, like, trying to say something to him as, like, enough to where he wouldn't be, like, angry, I guess.
Who would do the majority of the disciplining with the children?
Alan.
But there were times where you would also discipline. Right?
There was times where, yeah, like, you know, there was times where, you know, if he wouldn't, like, go lay down and take a nap, you know.
You're talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I would, like, move his leg and tap his butt and be like, all right, you need to go to bed, dude. And he would, and then he would put his binky in his mouth, and then he would lay back down. Like, there was times, because I was pregnant, it was really hard for me to lift him up, and this is not, like, it wasn't because, you know, I was trying to do it to be mean, but he dead weighted, and, like, I couldn't pick him up off the floor. Like, I couldn't bend down to pick him up all the way. So usually he was, like, standing up. He would try and open our bedroom door, and I'd be like, no, you need to go lay down. So I would, like, grab his hand, and he would just drop. So I'm like, okay. So I, like, kind of had to, like, pull him in the room and, like, lift him up with the one hand, because I couldn't, like, physically pick his whole body up, because it was hard for me.
Okay. Was Alan working?
Sometimes.
Occasionally.
He didn't work much up until, like, a week and a half ago.
Okay.
Like, he had taken off Thursday and Friday of last week because I had the doctor's appointment Thursday.
Okay.
And...
Had you been working?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So Alan was working occasionally. He took off Thursday, Friday, because you guys probably knew that this birth was going to.
Well, we were hoping so, yeah. I thought when they swept my membranes that it was going to be like almost instantaneous, but it wasn't.
Okay. I want you to. I mean, you've told me that you were frustrated with Judah as well in this situation with him peeing his pants and defecating, pooping.
Yeah.
And I feel that you've been very honest with me with a lot of the things that you saw transpire with Alan. But I think you might be minimizing some.
I mean, I've, there's been times where, he was being, doing what he was doing, and I would, kind of, okay, dude, come on, stop being stupid, stuff like that.
Stop being, so you'd swat him in the back of his head?
Yeah.
Would that be in the basement or upstairs?
Upstairs.
Okay.
I don't know. If he wasn't listening, I would just kind of, come on, man. But...
So you would try to redirect him with a simple swat to the back of the head?
Yeah.
Did you strike him with an open hand?
I mean, I spanked his butt before, yes.
His butt, okay. Sometimes kids might need that. Did it ever become excessive?
No.
Was there ever a time where you're like, you know what, I took a little too far?
I always felt like that. Every time. If I make my kids upset in any way, I always feel like I did too much.
Did you ever hit him with an object?
No.
A belt?
No.
Did you ever see Alan hitting him with anything besides his hand?
I feel like once or twice. I don't remember what it was because I was more focused on trying to get him to stop than I was whatever he was trying to hit him with.
That was in the basement? Or was that upstairs?
Yeah. It was in the basement.
Does Alan smoke?
Smoke weed? Yeah.
Cigarettes?
No.
I've seen pictures of Judah from this morning. He was bruised.
Everywhere.
Head to toe.
Everywhere.
The worst I've ever seen. And along with the bruises, there appear to be some burn marks. I want you to try to help clear up how those would happen.
Burn marks, I wouldn't know. I honestly wouldn't know about burn marks.
Was that something that Alan would ever threaten?
Burning him? No. If he did, I wouldn't have known about that.
There are steps with Judah that have not taken place yet, meaning there'll be further examinations with him. I wasn't there, but I've seen some photos, and what has been relayed to me was it was quite possibly some type of burn mark underneath his chin and on his.
That was because Alan would push him down on the floor in the basement.
On the concrete?
And he would hit his chin.
Did you see him push him down?
Yeah, I told him that's too much.
You told him it was too much?
I always did. And he never stopped.
Did you guys have carpet upstairs?
In one room, yes. In the living room.
Told him to stop because it was too much, but he never did. But he didn't take that extra step, right?
No, didn't. And I should have. But I didn't. There's no reason, there's no excuse for why I didn't. I mean, I was scared, yeah. I didn't want to lose my kids. I didn't want to lose him. I didn't know what to do. Like, I was trying to protect Judah, but I couldn't because I was too scared. Because I had been in the place before. Like, he had hurt me before, and I guess I was selfish, and I didn't want to.
You let Judah take the beating.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I didn't know. I couldn't stop him.
You could have stopped him.
I tried. Like, I literally tried to pull him off, and he wouldn't stop.
How long would you watch him do it?
I wouldn't watch him. I would go down there, and I would try and say something, and I would try and talk to Judah, and it wouldn't stop. So I went back upstairs and tried to deal with the other kids, and then either he would come back upstairs or he wouldn't. And if he didn't, I would go back and be like, you need to fucking stop. Like, you need to come upstairs. You need to fucking quit. And then if he would come upstairs, sometimes he'd push me out the way.
Did you ever try to call 911 during one of those incidents?
No, I did not.
Did you reach out to a family member? DCS? Did you scream out the front door?
No. So I didn't know what to do. Like, I knew what I should do, but
And you told Jesse that you fucked up, right?
Yeah. I said I fucked up by not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I should have said something. I should have done something.
And you told him prior to calling the police, you told him that you fucked up, that we fucked up, meaning you and Alan.
Yeah, because he was doing what he did, and I didn't do anything about it.
Here's one thing I want to make sure that we're clear on, Mary.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you talking with me to help me piece this back together. I need to make sure that your involvement isn't any more than what you've told me to this point. Because if we do find out down the road,
I totally understand that.
Okay, you know that
I have.
We've been trying to be here with you and help you through some of your thought process here and a lot of this. Okay, so we've been here with you. I'm not against you in any of this, but I've got to know that your involvement wasn't any more than what you've told me up to this point. That you didn't put your hands on him. You did not help Alan in some of those situations. Because if you did, just tell me.
There was times where I stood there because I didn't know what to do. Okay.
You stood there and didn't know what to do because you were scared of Alan and didn't know how to handle the situation. Did you help with the beating of Judah?
No. There had been time, like I had slapped him in his face one time. I did. Slap? Yes.
Okay.
I had,
was that in the basement?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
It was, because I got really frustrated and I was just like, dude, just fucking tell him what he wants to know.
I get that. You're frustrated with him just not saying anything. I understand that.
I just wanted him to talk so that Alan wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Did you take Judah downstairs?
No.
To have that conversation with him? He was already down there.
Yes.
So you went down and said, dude, just talk. Talk to your dad. So everybody will settle down, right? And you open hand slapped him. Right?
Yes, one time I did.
One time.
And I felt immediately like a piece of shit. Because I didn't want to make him feel like Alan did. Because he started to trust me. Because he would talk to me. And he wouldn't talk to Alan. As soon as he heard Alan coming or saw Alan, he would shut down. And I was like, please don't. Please, Judah, please don't. Just tell him just give him some kind of answer, man. Please just tell him something. And he would just shut down. I was too much of a piece of shit to say anything.
You know, we talked earlier about how all you wanted was Alan to love you the way you loved him. Do you think that just by talking with Judah and being there,
That it pissed him off?
No, and slapping him, do you think that that's something that you wanted to do to help please Alan too?
No, not at all. Not at all. There is no pleasing Alan.
He's just never happy.
Sometimes when he's smoking weed, playing Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's... Like, I could say anything, ask him a question, and he'd be like, the fuck is wrong with you? I was just asking you a question. Okay, well, you're being obnoxious, so just stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have said something.
You might have covered this, and I apologize if you did.
It's okay.
You called Alan prior to calling 911, right?
Yes.
And you stated to him, we fucked up.
No, I told Jesse that.
I'm sorry, you told Jesse that. You told Alan's brother Jesse, we fucked up. What do you mean by that?
I meant that I didn't do shit, and now Alan's saying that something happened to him, and I could have done something.
You feel like you could have put a stop to this long before it ever got to this point, right?
And I didn't.
You did. Okay.
Earlier, I wanted to touch on something before I forgot. Earlier you said you saw him on camera, you saw Judah on camera one of the days that you were at the hospital.
Yeah.
Was that during his birthday party?
No, that was like, that party was in the morning.
I'll be right back.
Was Judah somewhere else? Does he go anywhere else? Does he go see friends or family or anything at all? Does he visit anybody?
We don't have visitors. Like, we never really did, because nobody ever wanted to, like, drive all the way out to where we lived at.
Is any of your kids friends with any of the neighbors?
I mean, we goes to school, but, like, the people that lived next door to us, we didn't talk to them, and then the people that lived on the other side were, like, way down, and they are older, so.
Okay. So Judah wouldn't have gone anywhere else while you were at the hospital?
No.
Even prior to, he doesn't go and see any friends anywhere close?
They don't really have, I mean, the only person that would have friends is Micah.
Okay. Okay, so was there any reason that Judah would have been at one of your friends' house
No.
yesterday during his birthday party?
No.
Not at all. And
No.
how are you positive on that?
Because I know that he wasn't.
Okay.
Like, I know for a fact that he wasn't,
Okay. How do you know for a fact?
because it was first thing in the morning when Jesse had came over there
Came over where?
to the house,
For what?
his birthday.
Okay. And who confirmed that Judah was at the house?
I mean, there was no confirmation, but I knew he was there.
But if you knew for a fact, help me understand that. Help me understand how you knew for a fact that Judah was at the house yesterday.
Because he wouldn't have taken him anywhere.
Who wouldn't have?
Alan.
You wouldn't have let him go down the street,
No.
see a friend?
There's no other kids that my kids played with on our street. Like, we just kind of
Okay.
stayed to ourselves, I
Okay.
guess.
Did Alan tell you where Judah was during his birthday?
In the basement. I mean, he didn't tell me, but I knew that's where he was.
Okay. And he was in the basement throughout the whole day?
I don't know if it was all day. Because I was kind of talking to doctors and stuff all day. So, I mean, I wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Did you get to see his birthday party on the camera?
Kind of.
Who was all there?
I mean, Alan video called me.
Okay. Who was all there?
Just Jesse, Alan.
Okay. Does Jesse know where Judah was, or did he even ask?
I told him afterwards. I'm assuming that the whole friend's house thing was something that Alan told Jesse, that he was at a friend's house.
But there's no way he would.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Because I think Jesse had asked, like, what the fuck was going on, and I was like, or he had asked something about, like, where Judah was, or something along those lines. And I know that Alan had said that he told him that, like, he was at a friend's or something. But I told Jesse that was bullshit. I said, Alan fucking lied to you.
When did Jesse ask you that question?
I think it was when I called him the first time.
Yeah.
I believe.
So Jesse had no idea what Judah was going through?
No.
What Alan was doing?
No.
Anybody else have any idea?
No. Because he told me not to tell anybody.
And you don't think he would confide in anybody?
No. Alan doesn't talk to anybody. He wouldn't.
Is he close with his brother Jesse? Or are you closer with Jesse?
Well, he was close with Jesse, but not close enough. I told him I was going to call Jesse, and he said, no, don't. And I was like, no, I'm calling him. I don't know what to do. I need help. He needs help. I'm calling. Because I wanted Jesse to go over and try and help Alan, because obviously Alan was panicking and something was very wrong. And Jesse said, I can't get over there, so you need to call somebody. Like, something doesn't feel right. And I was like, I know. Like, he was like, so call now.
Would anybody else ever babysit or take the kids or come visit, or did any of them have
Nobody
friends?
ever came inside like that.
Okay. And did any of the kids have friends at all?
I mean, I know I did at school.
Did he go see them at all? Get to go visit?
No, because for a long time our van was broken, so. I mean, it wasn't broken, but it was illegal to drive, so.
Okay. And was he the only one that was going to school?
Yes.
Okay. And that was what school?
Kingsford Heights Elementary.
And I know you mentioned his teacher earlier. What's his teacher?
Her name's Miss Schreiber.
Miss Schreiber. Okay. Okay. Do you like her?
I've never met her.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
There's a couple of things that I want to just try to clarify with you, okay, as I'm thinking about some of the things we've talked about a lot. I just want to make sure, again, that I'm on the same page with you and have a clear picture to this whole situation. This basement door, I think I'd asked you if Judah had been locked down there. That door does have a lock.
It does, but it never was used.
So what kind of lock is it?
I think it's one of the little turn ones.
Like you need to have a key to turn it, or
I don't think-
just flip it?
No, you just flip it.
You just flip it, like a deadbolt type.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it was on a handle.
It was on a handle. Okay. So there is a lock, and that lock is on, would be like on the main floor.
Yes.
Okay. And
But he wouldn't lock it because he wanted him to use the bathroom. So he would close the door, but he didn't lock it. At least not that I knew of. He said he never locked it. He said he was going to let him go to the bathroom.
What about when he would have to stay overnight down there?
Never locked it.
And Judah would just stay down there?
I mean, I think he would get up and go to the bathroom sometimes.
Bathroom on the main floor?
Yes.
And then have to go back down?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying to your knowledge that lock was never utilized to prevent Judah from coming up to the main floor of the house?
No. I personally never used it. I never touched it. Like, no.
You never found that door to be locked and then would unlock it so Judah could come up?
I mean, I don't even think that lock works, to be honest.
Has that been on there since you guys moved in?
Yes.
You guys didn't put that lock on?
No.
Tell me about situation where Alan was at work and Judah peed his pants. How did you handle that?
Well, I would change him and so what I tried to do is kind of, while Alan was at work, I tried to kind of not do any really punishment because I wanted him to be upstairs with the other kids. So,
You tried not to, but there were occasions where you would do some sort of punishment.
Or I just didn't do anything because I thought Alan would notice and that he would get mad at me, or he would get mad at Judah because I tried to let him be upstairs. And I don't know.
But there was a situation, and again, I'm not here pointing fingers. We need to make sure that we're on the same page. There was a situation where when Alan was at work, you did take Judah to the basement after he had peed his pants on, right?
If he was already down there, then I don't think so. I may have.
Yes.
But
I'm very confident in that, and that's what I want to make sure that we talk about, that situation, okay, and how that differed from when you took him down and when Alan took him down.
Whenever he was down there and I was the only one home, I didn't do any of the stuff that he did. I would have him at the most just lay down on the blanket and be like, okay, well, just lay down, get some rest. If you need to pee, come upstairs and go to the bathroom. So
this situation, when Judah peed his pants, did you change him out and then make him go downstairs, or did he have to go downstairs and change out, or did you just take his clothes off, or how did that work out? I honestly don't remember. You don't remember that situation? I don't remember the specifics. I don't remember if I made him change. Okay, that's fair. And if you don't remember, I don't. But you do recall that situation where you sent Judah to the basement? Vaguely, yes. Well, tell me what you remember about it. I don't really remember much. I just know that I had told him, okay, you know what? Then just go downstairs. If you're not going to listen, I don't know what else to do. So just go down there and lay down. And if you need to go to the bathroom, come upstairs. Did you have to force him down there? No. So you didn't have to carry him by his neck like Alan would? No. I wouldn't have, no. Absolutely not. Okay, and I want to take you back to 20 minutes ago, half hour ago, when I told you that you have been very honest with a lot of what's going on, but I felt that you're minimizing your involvement with some of this, and that's normal, okay? It's normal because for someone... Because I know I should have done something. I know, you've already told me that, but it's normal for someone to say, yes, here's, I'm involved with this, I should have done more, and then hold on to some of this outlining stuff that could be very important for this investigation. I'm not trying to I know you're not. I just want to make sure, okay? Because before when we talked, you had told me that you never took Judah downstairs, or even made him go downstairs. But now we know that that's not entirely the case. That there were some situations where you had told Judah, you need to go downstairs. Yeah. Right. How many times do you think that happened, Mary? Not very many. 5 times? I don't. Maybe 5 times? Over the course of everything, maybe? Sure. Since he started living with you in April, May? Yeah. Okay. Maybe 5 times. And in those times, you never had to force him to go downstairs. You just told him to go downstairs. Not that I remember, no. And every time that you would do that, would Alan always be at work, or sometimes was he home when you told him to go downstairs? I couldn't tell you. It could have been both. I don't really honestly remember. Are there times where you told him to go downstairs and then Alan went down and had a discussion and disciplined? And then I followed him down there and told him to stop. And he was like... Okay. So what I'm asking though is, you told Judah to go downstairs
Because I figured that maybe if I said something and just had him go sit downstairs or something, that maybe Alan wouldn't do anything.
But that didn't happen. Alan still went downstairs, right?
Some of the times, yeah.
Some of the times. So it wasn't always Alan that told or forced Judah to go downstairs. I'm just trying to get a clear picture of what happened in this situation.
I know.
And only you, Alan, could give us any insight on that. The other kids are too young, right?
Yeah.
The secrets that we hold within our house can only be told by a few.
I'm not trying to hide anything.
Maybe not at this point, but for a while there you did, right?
I mean, that wasn't my intention. I have a lot of stuff going through my head right now. I'm not...
I understand. I don't understand. I could see how you have a lot of thoughts going through your head. I've never been in your position. I can't tell you that I understand how you feel. It's not accurate. But I can only imagine the last couple days are a complete whirlwind. Worst nightmare ever, right?
That's
and the only
not
thing,
even described.
Not even the right words, I'm sure. The only thing we could do, Mary, at this point, is try to make things as right as we can.
But there's no way to make it right.
Judah, sure there is. There's justice.
How, though? How is there justice?
By us having a 100% picture of what happened there. It's never going to bring him back.
No, it's not.
It's not.
That's not. That's not.
But we have to do what we can from here on out for him. To hell with everybody else with Alan. And if your involvement is any more than what you told us, we need to know about it today.
I'm being I'm going to be straight up.
Straight up.
My memory really does, it's really foggy sometimes. So if it's like, oh, well, did you, I'm like, oh, you know what, maybe, because it's not like, there's always so much stuff going on. I'm always busy. I was always trying to clean the house. I was always trying to change diapers and do laundry. And
you're busy. You got a 2-year-old, 1-year-old, Judah, who's 4, and is obviously having some troubles with some discipline stuff, peeing and defecating, and your 7-year-old, who you got to make sure is going to school and doing all schoolwork, right?
Yes, sir.
Your plate's full. We get that, and we understand that there are times where you're frustrated.
But that doesn't make it okay for me not to have done anything.
You're right. I 100% agree with you. You and I are on the same page with that.
And I think you say that your memory is a little foggy, but you remember every time that Alan's hit you. And I know you're sitting here replaying the memories of watching Alan hit and strike and bound Judah. I know you can see it. It's written all over your face. So your memory's clear today. Because that's going to replay over and over because you said, what?
I'll never forgive myself for not doing anything about it. Because all it would have taken is one phone call. And I was too scared to say anything to anybody. So I didn't. And now, because I didn't say anything,
okay. Mary, were you? Have you been released from the hospital? Medically, you've been released.
I mean, I asked to be released so I could go get my kids.
You guys, everything's signed out, all that stuff?
She discharged herself.
Self-discharge, okay.
Yeah. So I asked the OB, she's not welcome back to the OB because once she discharged herself.
And they told me that. They were like, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I need to go.
Okay.
I do want to revisit a question that came to mind. You said you would let him come up and use the restroom when he was ready to use the restroom, correct?
I mean, it wasn't really about letting him come up. I mean, he knew that if he needed to go to the bathroom, to just come upstairs and go to the bathroom.
Okay. But he was under the impression that he was to the basement. Once he was told to stay in the basement, he was in the basement. Would there be any reason why in the basement there would be soiled potty trainer of sorts, or a bucket or something with soil?
Yeah, because Alan had a potty seat down there.
Mm-hmm.
And he sometimes told him, don't even worry about it until you can decide you want to go on that, then don't,
So that was down there
for him to use the bathroom.
for him to use the restroom. Yeah. So a lot of times he wouldn't even come upstairs then.
Not a lot of times, no.
Because he was under the impression that he had to stay in the basement to use the bathroom.
I mean, he definitely used that little seat part because we couldn't find the actual seat itself.
Okay.
So Alan had just put that down there.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to understand that.
You have any questions for us, Mary?
I just want to, I want to, I mean, I can't fix it, but I want to do what I can to, I will never feel like there will be justice served for what happened, and I'll always hate myself for not saying anything. But if there's anything that I can do to help in any way, I want to do that. Because it's not right and it's not fair what happened. And if I would have just made one phone call, there's no excuse. I should have said something. There's no excuse. It didn't matter if I was scared. I should have said something. Point blank, period. It is what it is. I should have called somebody, said something. And I didn't.
I'm going to ask that as much as you can be, try to be patient with us for the next few minutes until we figure out the next steps on where we go on that next step. Okay. Remember I talked to you earlier today. Let's take this all one step at a time. Took you to the hospital. We were there for a little bit. Then you came back over here. We're going to try to figure out that next step. Okay. I'm not sure what that is yet. So if you could, as much as you can, be patient with us for the next few minutes, and we're going to try to figure that out. And might pop in and talk to you and see if there's anything we can do for you. But it's going to take us a few minutes. Okay.
So by a few minutes, you mean I'm going to be sitting here for a while?
We can get you some water, and we still have those sandwiches if you're hungry.
I don't want any food. I just want to see my kids.
Do you want to lay your head down for a minute?
No.
I know you want to see your kids, and we're trying to work towards, what those next steps are. But there's a lot in play with this, and a lot of people that are involved that we have to talk to let them know some of the information that we have. Okay, what we're learning about this whole situation, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
And we can't make immediate decisions on that. It has to be kind of a thought-out process, collaboration with other individuals.
Okay.
So, again, just ask that you try to be patient as much as you can be with us for a few minutes here until we can figure out what that next step is going to be. And as soon as we know, we're going to come talk to you about it.
Okay.
Okay?
And I'll check on you, make sure.
Is that fair? I don't want to make you sit in here more than you have to, that you already have, okay? But we also can't just make knee-jerk reactions. We have to collaborate and talk to some other people about this.
I know.
All right.
I'll check on you, I promise.
Can I bring you anything right now?
Well, I would like to get my phone so I could, because I need to get a hold of my lawyer for the court stuff on Friday that I was supposed to have, because he had called me earlier and I never called him back.
Oh, for the child custody?
Yeah,
right?
well, it was visitations.
Oh, the
but yeah.
visitations, okay.
I'm going to be, and I've been very honest with you all the way up to this, and you've been honest with us. That phone is now evidence. So you're not going to get your phone back. That phone is being held as evidence at this point.
Okay.
Okay. Just me being upfront with you, and I don't want to tell you, we'll get you your phone when I know that phone's not coming back.
Okay, so you guys are going to detain me. That's what's going to happen.
We don't know
Because
that.
that's why you guys are being like this right
Being
now.
like what?
Because you guys think that I'm just trying to play around right now.
No.
You think that I'm...
Not at all.
I think you're
I
honest.
think you've been honest with a lot of things, and we worked through some things that you didn't totally recall. But no, I'm not. I don't think you're trying to be evasive with us or misleading. I told you I appreciated you speaking with us to try to create, show us, what led up to all this happening, and I do appreciate that.
These are just tough questions. I told you it was going to be tough.
I just don't want to keep sitting in here. I get that you guys have to ask questions, but I'm...
We need to go talk to some other individuals, and then we're going to let you know where we can go from here.
And the faster that we can go talk to them, the sooner we can come back and get the
People,
answers.
can I go to the bathroom?
Yes, we can make some arrangements for you to use the restroom. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
Do you have to close the door?
No, not all the way. I'll leave it. I'll leave it propped open. Okay.
Let me get those answers for you. Have a seat. Make sure you don't want any water.
Can I call my mom or something?
Not right now. Just first sit down, okay? And take a few deep breaths.
It's making me really anxious.
Have a seat. So you don't.
I've been sitting in rooms all day and it's...
Take your breaths, okay? I will be right back.
Oh my God. I know I should have said something, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have just been scared. God, please forgive me for not being the mom I should have been, for not standing up more. God, please
Forgive me. Please, God, forgive me. Because I'm being as honest as I can. And I'm scared. Because I know that I should have done something more. And I didn't. And I don't know what to do. God, please forgive me. Please give me a chance to make this right. Please, because I will do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to help them with what they need. Please, God, please. I'm sorry. And please tell my boy I'm sorry too. Because I should have stood up for him more. I should have protected him more, God. I should have called somebody. And I didn't. And God, please give me a chance to fix this. Please. I know there's no fixing it. I know there's not. But give me a chance to make something right. Please. I know I haven't had faith in you. And I know I've said that you weren't real. And I know that I haven't been praying or being a good Christian in any way. And I'm sorry, God. But please, I'm begging you, please forgive me for not being a better mom and protecting my kids more. Because if I would have just stood up and made that phone call, this wouldn't be happening right now. None of it. But because I was too scared to make a phone call. God, I'm begging you, please. Please forgive me. Please. Please, God, please forgive me. And please give me a chance to make this right. Please. I don't know what to do, God. I screwed up. I didn't say anything. I just stood there sometimes because I didn't know what to do. I called him stupid. I don't know what to do, God, please. Please, God, give me another chance. Please give me a chance to make this right, God, please. Please, God. I'm sorry. I should have said something, God, please. Please, God, give me another chance to make this right somehow. And I know it'll never be right, God, but please. I will do whatever it takes. Please, God, please. I know I should have said something, God. I know I should have. And I didn't. And that's my fault. God, please forgive me. Forgive me for being so scared of
I don't even understand why I thought that I was, I don't know. God, please, I'm begging you, forgive me for not standing up. Because now I'll never be able to. I don't know what to do. Please, God. I am honestly begging you with all my heart. Please, let me help them fix whatever can be fixed. Whatever justice I can bring him, even though it's not justice. Whatever I can do, God, I want to do it to help. Because I know I should have said something. And the least I can do, the most I can do now is try and help. So please, God, I'm begging you. Please give me a chance. Please give me a chance away from Alan. Give me a chance to get my life together and be the mom that I know I can be. Because Alan he tore my whole heart apart. My life, my emotions. God, please. I need to prove to my children that I'm not just a stupid, selfish person that couldn't say anything. Please, God. I just don't know what to do. Please, dear God, I will do whatever it takes to help them with anything. Please. I'm trying to be honest with them, but I don't think they believe me. And I'm trying to be honest because I'm trying to tell them everything that I can remember, anything that could be of any help. And I just don't know what to do.
Okay, sorry that. I'm gonna ask you again. Do you want any food?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, you know you haven't eaten.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know I'm worried about that.
Yeah.
I know, like I've probably bothered you a bunch about it.
I can't.
But here's the thing. I really would like to see you eat. Okay? Because, and this is just between, listen, just please stop asking me questions, okay? Hold on. Okay, I am in here because I just want to make sure that you, either eat or get some more water, okay? Because you've been up a while and you haven't ate. They're still discussing whatever they're discussing. Okay, I have zero answers for you. My concern right now is you eating. Are you sure? Are you positive? Because I have a bunch of Subway sandwiches out there. A cookie.
I can't.
Okay, why can you not eat something for me?
Because I just can't, I don't feel good. I'm just stressed. I'm, I know, I know I screwed up by not saying anything, and I'll never, like, I can't wrap my head around it, okay? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to, like, help you guys. I'm trying to give you guys all of the information that I can, but I feel like it's not enough, and I don't know what to do, and I'm trying, but I'm, like, freaking out because I don't know what's going on.
Okay. I know. Let them finish discussing. But I told you, one, that I would check on you while they were still discussing. I told you that because I care about you. I care about what is happening, and I care that you have an 8 and you're postpartum.
But I want them to understand that I didn't want, like, this is not what I wanted. Like, I tried to stop him, okay? I did.
Okay.
And I really didn't know what else to do, okay? I really didn't.
Okay.
I really, like, genuinely didn't know what else to do. And I know I should have called, and I didn't.
Okay.
And I am, like, I'm sorry, you know? Like,
Okay. Okay.
So we've been talking for a while, okay? Do you have any other questions for us?
No.
Okay. Mary, at this point, you're going to be held on a 48-hour hold, investigative hold. We'll continue to confer with the prosecutor's office to assess criminal charges against you.
For what?
It could be a couple different things, one being neglect of a dependent. Okay, but at this point...
And I deserve that, but
Okay,
I'm trying, like, I don't want to, like...
Listen to me. You've not been charged with anything yet. We still have to confer with the prosecutor's office. What I'm telling you is you're not going to be able to walk out of here. We're going to take you upstairs. You're going to be held on a 48-hour investigative hold. Okay?
I'm honestly telling you everything I can. I really am. Like, I'm
not saying you're not. What I'm telling you is the information that we have right now, we have enough to place you on a hold and to confer with the prosecutor's office for criminal charges. Okay? And once we are able to solidify some questions to them, then we'll let you know about official charges. You're not being charged right now. You're being placed on a hold, but you're not free to leave. Okay?
Can I call my lawyer, please?
Upstairs you can.
Can, like, you guys get, like, I get the number off the phone or something? Like, something? Can I get his number somehow?
Who is your lawyer?
Ryan Beal.
I can look in the yellow pages for you for sure.
Okay? So I got an officer here. We're going to take you into custody and walk upstairs. Stand up.
So I'm not going to see my kid?
Not today. We'll take this card. So you have that in your property.
So if I call my lawyer, that's my one call then?
I'm not sure what their process is upstairs, to be honest with you.
I want to thank you all for watching. That is the end of part 2. Watch part 3 here. We have a lot more on the way, so make sure you're subscribed, and we will see you in the next one.